the Shuck podcast. The goal of the What the Shuck podcast is to provide a platform to people of Kentucky and Appalachia with the hopes of influencing you, the listener, and all the people of our region. Our next guest is going to be my good friend and mentor, Mr. Josh Bowen, and we'll be talking a little bit about fitness, nutrition, and also his upcoming event with surgery on Sunday, and probably a little bit about cats, and not cats like that you pet, the wild cats. And I'm going to assume he's going to get a little bit fired up and maybe not be so happy because we're not looking so sexy right now. So Josh, talk about the cats a little bit.
The last two games, okay, because Cal gets very, very, very much criticized for the fact that his offense is stale and outdated, okay. The last two games, we've actually slowed the offense down, and I've seen some actual plays out of the team. And I think that has really helped. So I think that John has listened to the fans and he's put some plays in. So, I mean, hey, we'll see you Saturday.
Yeah. And you are probably one of the biggest Kentucky basketball fans. Essentially a fanatic, you would say. I think you have a UK basketball tattoo, don't you?
Well, I have a UK tattoo.
Yeah.
I probably need to designate that with the basketball there because I'm not really that big of a football fan. Because, liking Kentucky football is like messing around with a girl who's going to constantly cheat on you, but you stay anyway. Okay? You never know what you're going to get. All right? But anyway.
Isn't that the truth?
Basketball has always been my thing. That's what I played. I've always been a huge Kentucky basketball fan. And I think it's really important that, we don't as fans, go and attack the players because the players don't need to be attacked. They're kids. I mean, these are 18-year-olds playing a basketball game. But Cal, on the other hand, he can handle it. So,
I mean, he gets paid $9 million a year
to
take those criticisms.
He does. Cal, I love you. I always will love you. I think you've done a great service for the University of Kentucky and the state of Kentucky. You've helped me with this charity charity event we will talk about here shortly. But let's get the Cats going.
What do you think where do you think we go this year?
If we play about 25% better, which you expect them to do from January to March, that they did against LSU, and take out that last 6 minutes of the game where they tried to give it back to them.
I did not understand that at all.
I think Kentucky can go on a run and make a Final Four. I really do. But if they play the way they played against Gonzaga or UCLA, then we're not going to make the tournament. So it's really that big of a difference.
And I mean, for me, it's getting to the point to where I'm a pretty big Cal loyalist, but I would say that it's getting to where I'm starting to get a little frustrated.
Yeah, I think we're all frustrated.
Yeah, I think I would say if he doesn't get to the Elite Eight or Final Four this year, he's on the hot seat for me. Like, just no ifs, ands, or buts. You can have a lifetime contract, and you can do all the work that you want to do for our state. I love him. I think there's no better ambassador. Like, you're not going to find a guy that's going to help amplify the state more than him as a coach. It's just there's not one. Nick Saban's not doing the work that he does. Urban Meyer wasn't doing that work. All these guys. I mean, Urban Meyer was working some buttholes at that. I don't know if you know about that, but
no, I don't know.
There's a video of him.
I've never heard that.
A video of him with his hand up a girl's butt at a bar, and he seems like got fired after that. So because he has a wife, so. He's Kentucky football. He's cheating on it. But I would have to say for me, he's on the hot seat after that. And
what about the recruiting classes coming in next?
Man, it's like you can't.
We say that every year.
And this is the best one, probably. You can say that for sure.
I don't know if you can or not.
I think you can just because it's like there's a little more depth to this because it's like I would say a legacy class. Because DeJuan Wagner's son's in it, and
we'll find out.
And it's like there's layers to it.
I'm tired of waiting to next year.
Yeah, we want to win a championship.
Something happened against Wisconsin in 2015.
They stole Calipari's soul.
Well, you had 3 shot clock violations in a row. Okay, you could have pulled Andrew Harrison out or stuck him at the 2 guard. And
we only had Devin Booker and Tyler Ulis.
Stuck Tyler Ulis in the game. And I guarantee you, Tyler Ulis doesn't turn the ball over. He gets it right to Karl Anthony Towns, and we are 40-0 national championship. And, he probably would have went to the NBA then and coached, LaChina James in the NBA. But that's okay.
We would have won 2 championships.
It's okay. By the way, I may offend people in this podcast. I don't mean to. But I say whatever I want to.
Listen or don't.
We don't give a shit.
But for those of you who all don't know, Josh runs a gym here in Lexington, Kentucky. It's called Aspire Fitness. He's been instrumental to me in my weight loss transformation and the longevity. And dude, you do incredible work. You help people daily. That's what you do for a living.
I also pester the shit out of them daily too.
That's true, but
it goes with the territory.
So we had a show on Facebook for about a year called Buff and Shuck, and I'm still shadow banned on Facebook. I was just talking to Mike. I said, dude, how does it make sense that I have 3 times more followers on Instagram, the much harder platform to get followers on than Facebook? And my only explanation is that I'm literally shadow banned.
Yeah.
That's all that makes sense. It sounds dumb talking about it, but it's like, that doesn't make sense.
I had a social media person tell me, hey, you're following too many conservative people. And I'm like, okay, well, is there am I getting dinged for following, Ben Shapiro or, I don't know. I mean, hell, I don't consider myself a Democrat or a Republican. I consider myself having common sense. And, I believe not all, but most politicians don't really give a shit about you or I.
Yeah.
There are some that do, and we will highlight those people when we see them. But, yeah, I mean, it's like there's these rules that we've decided that we're going to employ on people who have different opinions. And if you have a different opinion, then that automatically makes you wrong. And there's just something wrong with that.
No, I completely agree. It's the likelihood of, for one thing, when we keep people in those boxes, it's like they never have the opportunity to grow. And it also is so alienating when someone's like, you idiot, you don't believe this, like, oh my god, you're such a dummy, oh my gosh, like, I hope you go to hell, or whatever. People are so dramatic today. And it's like, when we do that, that person sure as hell is not going to come to your side when you do that, because first of all, you've called them dumb, you've insulted them, you have not provided any value of why you believe what you believe either. So it's like you're actually being worse than the person who maybe they don't believe the best thing possible, but there's never going to be an opportunity to educate that person to move them to a new idea if you're like leaving them in the box. And I myself, with New Year's going on, there's so many people, I hate this shit. And it's kind of similar, but it's like when new people come to the gym and people are like, this is my gym, I'm like, you can't come here. You're like, what's this new guy doing here? He's only going to be here like a week. And it's like, but if you never give that person a chance to get that routine going, get that motion, get that momentum, then they might not ever keep going to the gym.
Right.
And it's like, if you just keep extinguishing any potential because your ideas are actually like what's keeping them from going forward, it's actually not their ideas. And I think that commonly happens with politics, with fitness, with education. There's so many times that people are like, dude, I had a guy in 3rd grade tell me I couldn't sing. And guess what I never did after that? I never sang. And it's just like, that's silly. We shouldn't allow those people to hem us in and make us be what they want us to be. Yeah. But when we constantly have those people who are trying to extinguish others' opinions, regardless of if they're shitty ideas or good ideas, it's like that person's never going to grow if we don't give them an opportunity. In the way our current state is just virtue signaling. It's never even an opportunity to learn. So that's kind of some of the stuff we talked about, was just how closed-minded people are, and they ironically say like, oh, I'm a big liberal, but it's like, but you have zero open mind. Like you have a very set list of ideas that you apply to and go by, but you get mad when people don't, but you're open-minded.
Yeah, it's like most politicians, at least in my estimation, are going to talk about the same polarizing topics. And those polarizing topics are the vast majority of Americans are over hearing about those polarizing topics. Gay marriage is legal in the United States of America because that's what the Supreme Court says. End of story, move on.
Yeah.
You may not like it, and that's cool, right? Hey, listen, I'm all about people doing what they want to do, being who they want to be. Okay, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, awesome. Abortion, okay, the big, huge topic of conversation. I'm not going to give you my views on it, but most people believe abortion should be legal, safe, and used sparingly. Like 80% of Americans believe that.
Yeah.
Why are we arguing back and forth on the same topics when there are people who are homeless, there are people who have no money, there are people who can't feed their families, there are people who are living out on the streets because they served in the United States military and they've got PTSD. We have a huge, massive drug problem in the United States of America that nobody's talking about. I mean, what? I don't understand. We got...
But what are the Kardashians doing?
Exactly. Cognitive dissonance is a motherfucker. It is. You know, I mean, you got Ghislaine Maxwell sitting in a might as well just be hanging out at my gym, essentially. You know, she's locked up. We can't get the list. You know, it's just, it doesn't make any sense, the things that they go back and forth and argue about.
Well, and then you have the whole Andrew Tate going on. I don't like that guy. I think he's a...
He says some really misogynist things.
He's a
For me to say that.
He's a pretty big misogynist. But it is so strange to me to see how they attack that guy because he's anti what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, and I don't know, this is what I was told. I don't know what's happening. Apparently the dude, his sex trafficking issue is that he's taking girls from other countries into Romania and having them shoot like OnlyFans, which at that point is known as an act of sex. And so he's having essentially hot girls come to his house and shoot people. That dude's a piece of shit. I'm not saying he's a good guy,
right.
But it's like, why is that guy getting attacked? And then Ghislaine Maxwell was like, that is so confusing. It's like, hey, if he's truly sexually trafficking people, the dude should be locked up and throw away the key.
100%.
But it's the whole dynamic of, well, why aren't you showing this same attention to
I agree.
Epstein and Maxwell? It's actually baffling.
Doesn't fit a narrative. You know, this guy is he's an in shape guy. I don't know a whole lot about him. I think he was a former kickboxer. Okay, he's made a ton of money doing something. Okay, and he's come out and said, hey, you know, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this, I don't like that. And he's explained how certain things in the world work. And he told you, I'm going to get arrested or I'm going to get killed or whatever. And he could have just been spitting out the side of his mouth. And I'm not taking that for the guy. But it's like that guy, we're going to go and put him and say, well, I told you so. But you have this list of people that are well known.
The King of England.
Well known. I mean, like universally.
The King of England.
Right. The King of England. The Prince of England.
Well, he's the king now.
Yeah, but the Prince Andrew.
What?
He's not the king. No, what's his, who was married to Diana? That dude's the king.
That's the guy that's in trouble, isn't it?
No,
Okay.
Prince Andrew, which would be, I believe, would be his brother.
Yeah, that would be the case,
Right.
then.
Right.
Still disgusting, nonetheless.
Very disgusting. All of these people are disgusting, quite frankly.
Yes.
Andrew Tate, the list, I'm not vouching or advocating for any of these people. It's just what we pick to focus on is very interesting. It is the reason why I've had to retract myself, I should say, from, you know, the news. It's bad for you. It just is. It's built on negative narratives.
It's literally like, imagine if you had a pill that you took every day, and instead of it being like something good for you, it's bad.
Yeah.
And it's literally like, that's what news is. It's bad medicine that you're taking every day, and you're thinking that it's like...
The news used to lose money. Okay, it lost money, but somebody came up with this great creative idea of, okay, how can we make money off the news? How can we get advertisers to market their products during the news? We've got to get people to watch the news. We know the brain is slightly wanting to go to the negative, so we're going to sandwich all these news stories that are going to be negatively driven to get people to watch it, and then we do. I mean, go watch the news. Any news program from Lexington, Kentucky, New York City, Los Angeles, and all points in between, you will see negative stuff reported at every juncture. And I can tell you this from being somebody that's done a lot of charity events, and you know this personally because you have done the same. It's very difficult to get the news to come out for the reason of, because, well, who got murdered today? Okay, whose house got set on fire? Yeah, it's just... I'm not saying you shouldn't report on those things. I'm just saying that, if you want a better society, you have to highlight the positives of that society, because there are some. In fact, there's a lot. I mean, look at this football player that tragically falls, has a cardiac arrest on the field. His charitable contributions prior to him having this very dramatic situation was at $2,500. He's now raised over $7 million because people felt compelled to help him and his mission. I mean, that's a great story, but you're not hearing a lot of that. You just keep hearing the same narrative over and over and over again, and it pisses me off.
And then you have dudes on the internet saying that T. Higgins did that stuff and he should get thrown out of the game, and I'm like,
it's a football game, guys.
What's the narrative? It's just that narrative thing, though. It's that guy. The dude's name's Bart Scott, and he literally was a defensive linebacker. He made money for killing dudes.
Right.
In the early 2000s, late 2000s. So he was the dude that was like, I'm gonna come for your head. So it's weird to hear now that he's on the other side of the ball. He's like, this guy should be punished because he led with his head, and it's like, bro, you live with your head every damn time. That's the issue. Is too many people's memories are short. And we're so quick to criticize others when we have done the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
We've all done it.
Well,
whatever it is.
We're imperfect. Everybody is. Me included. We've got lots of flaws. Admit them. Probably made some already. I haven't even, reflected enough to know I've made them on this podcast.
Well, dude, I want to talk a little bit about surgery on Sunday and Sweat for Surgery. So you've been doing this for quite a while now, and you've raised a crap ton of money. Kind of fill us in on how long you've been doing this, how much money you've raised, and what the whole story and kind of the idea behind it is.
So this will be our 8th year of this charity event, and I sit on the board for Surgery on Sunday. Surgery on Sunday is a non-profit local organization to Lexington, Central Kentucky, that does free routine surgeries for people who do not have insurance or are severely underinsured. And why this matters is because in the healthcare system, it's like, me being an independent contractor, having independent insurance, my insurance won't even pay for an MRI. So I had to literally go pay out of pocket to get an MRI on my knee. So imagine doing that for a surgery.
Yeah.
And I make great money, but I'm still having to pay out of pocket for things. Look at people who have no money or little to no money or taking care of, a household of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever the case may be. There are people out there that fall through the cracks of the insurance system, and they need these routine surgeries that would be routine for you or I, can become very life-threatening. It can impede them going to work, to make a living, to take care of their family, to feed themselves and others, etc. So this organization is the first of its kind. It's the only of its kind in the entire United States of America. And once a month, Surgery on Sunday will host a surgery day where they will bring in patients, a variety of different outpatient surgeries, from gallbladders, do cataracts, they've even done some ACL shoulder repairs, all kinds of things that would impede people from making a living at the end of the day, living their life, being healthy, being happy. So we created what we call Sweat for Surgeries. And Sweat for Surgeries is a now 26-hour event. Very much akin to where I got the idea was Dance Blue. It was 24 hours. something to do for a full 24 hours or more, on the hour, every hour for that full time, we're going to start a different fitness class. And this is our 8th year. We've raised to date well over $300,000. The average surgery is going to cost anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500. So that's a lot of surgeries that we've paid for from this event. And we invite other fitness groups in, because I think it's really important to get the fitness community involved if we can. And we have 14 different fitness training studios, coaches involved with this one this year. So they're going to take their hours, they're going to invite their tribe in, they're going to do the absolute best that they do, whatever their discipline and skill is. We'll have a variety of different classes. We've got boxing, we'll have a dance class, we've got bar, we've got your circuit training, we got Mike doing a mobility class. We're gonna have all types of things. We're gonna have a PT in here doing dry needling on the spot. We're just gonna have it all. And
that sounds dope.
We're looking to raise $45,000. Again, we already have raised almost 25. We haven't even really had many signups, because people don't sign up for things till 3 days before. I wish you guys would sign up sooner. It'd be helpful for me, but that's okay. I understand how humans are. And yeah, it's fun. And you asked me, am I looking forward to it? And sometimes I have to check myself. Me talking about it, I get excited about it, but it's a lot of work. And to put together something that lasts for this amount of time, it takes 6 months worth of planning to do. And it seems arduous, it seems difficult, but at the end of the day, it's for a great cause. And that's why we do it.
I mean, dude, it's you walked for 24 hours straight one year, so I think that you'll always like this event a lot more than having to do that. That was the COVID year, but
I mean, if it wasn't for you to finish that out with me, I mean, Mike went with me from it was midnight to 5 a.m. and then you picked up with me when it was getting the most cold.
Oh, dude, it was the coldest day of the year.
The water bottle was freezing as I was drinking it. It was crazy. But we do what we can. I mean, he's done the walk for his organization and done a lot of stuff for people of Eastern Kentucky and just Kentucky in general. So the world.
I think that's why it's important to put yourself around people, though, that are wanting to do that work, because I was heavily inspired by you and all the people that do stuff like that. It's why it's so important to... Man, it's so weird. I had someone literally make a post about me 2 years ago when I first started doing the event, and they were like, this guy's doing all this stuff to help people, but people that help people should do it quietly if you're a good Christian man or something. I was like, yeah, but no one's ever going to know that we're never going to be able to raise awareness.
That's a slippery slope thing, because do you want to go to the homeless guy on the side of the road and give him food and then this, hey, look what I'm doing?
Yeah.
No, of course you don't want to do that, but an event like this has to be promoted.
Yes, you have to raise awareness.
Everything is a sale, guys.
Yep.
I mean, that's what being on the board at Surgery on Sunday, as I tell them, you have to run this like a business. People have to know you exist. They have to get passionately and emotionally invested in what you do, because if we don't have money, we can't do the surgeries. So, I mean, do we want a pat on the back for doing this? No. But at the end of the day, in order for us to be able to do the best we can, raise the most amount of money, we've got to get the most amount of people involved. Which means we have to use the social medias to do that.
I mean, my goal is to raise $10 million by the time I die, and if I don't put that stuff on Facebook, that's just not possible.
Not unless you've got these angel investors that people just give you a lot of money.
Exactly.
Who has that?
And I mean, we're pretty much both running this as grassroots as it gets. You know what I mean?
We're not ground up.
We're not getting a lot of help, and so sometimes you have to do it hey, look at me, even if that's not the intention. It's hey, it's not hey, look at me. It's more hey, look at this.
That guy who made that comment is sitting back saying, I want to do that, but I don't have the ability or the want to do it. And the fact this dude is saying, to hell with all that, I'm going to do it anyway. It's a jealousy thing. It just is. So poo-poo on him.
I have found that out with gastric sleeve people.
Yeah, for sure.
People would be initially I think now they're like, okay, this guy clearly was like pretty committed to that. That wasn't just like a fluke. But people would be like, you know, like, does it hurt your feelings, or like, do you feel like you cheated or stuff like that? And I'm like, I feel like I cheated my life for like 6 years by being a fat piece of shit. Like, not by not doing this earlier, not taking health focus and making that the priority. And that's the same thing with the fraternity or not fraternity, but the philanthropy. It's just like, you know, if I didn't, it's pretty likely if I never had done the gastric sleeve that I wouldn't be doing the podcast. I wouldn't be doing the nonprofit work. I definitely sure as hell wouldn't be walking 86 miles in 3 days. Like that, just those things wouldn't be possible. And so sometimes you got to make some sacrifices or change some lifestyles up to to reap the rewards.
Hell, you may not even been alive.
I probably wouldn't have been.
I mean, so it saved your life.
It's pretty likely that if I hadn't had that surgery, I would weigh like 500 pounds now, especially after COVID.
Well, you see, the thing about this, I think everybody needs to learn, is from my experience, right? So, and I've told you this, when I've had clients come to me who've had gastric sleeve, is because they're almost back in the same spot or close to that they were prior to the surgery, because it isn't a cheat code.
Yeah.
Yes, does it help you? Of course it does, but eating protein every day helps you. Working out every day helps you. So whatever it takes to get you to where it is that you're wanting to be for your own health, go for it. And anyone that has anything negative to say about that, fuck you.
Shuck you. We don't say the F word on here. I'm just joking. We say fuck all the time.
Oops, sorry.
Man, so other than surgery on Sunday, event for Sweat for Surgery, do you have any big goals for this year? I know you're not really a goal guy, but like, you kind of are just like the guy that's like, this is what I'm gonna do.
This is my thought on goals. Is, you know, if there's something that a person wants to do, that person also has to break that down into what habits do I need to embody to do that, right? And then from there, getting even closer is what person do I have to be in order to do that, right? And so for me, it's not about goals as it is discovering more and more about who I am. And that's really my goal in life, is just to really discover myself. You know, what pisses me off and why does it piss me off? What triggers me and why does it trigger me? What gets me excited and then why does it get me excited? You know, it's like really finding about me, because if I can find myself, then I can relate to other people. And I really believe people who are authentically themselves encourage other people to be authentically who they are. And then all of a sudden this box that we've built ourselves into it's not a box anymore. We've literally thought outside the box, to quote a phrase. We're in the matrix. That's maybe a separate podcast, but you know, I think this is somewhat the matrix. And it's like, in order to get out of the matrix, you have to acknowledge that you're actually in it. And what we absorb, whether it's entertainment or whether it's knowledge or whatever we're doing, a lot of times we're doing it because we want to sedate and distract ourselves from what pains us. I want to find out what is my pain and look it in the face and tell it to fuck off. And then I grow from that. And through that, I get to do cool things like Sweat for Surgeries and this and whatever else.
And I can definitely agree that by knowing your weaknesses and your demons, that it makes life much easier to navigate.
Yeah.
By knowing your demons, like I know my demons, they are my friends.
Yeah.
I think that was Nietzsche that said that, or Carl Jung, I can't remember, but
basically the same person.
Very, very similar folks.
Right.
And it's just like when you see those pitfalls coming and you know how to avoid them, or you know how to like move around them or whatever, it's like a cheat code for life. And it's like in the Matrix, you're talking about the Matrix, and I literally reference this point all the time. When Neo like realizes he knows Kung Fu, and it's just like, dude, that's just life. Like if you want to be a musician, you just have to apply. You are a musician. You just got to do it. If you want to be a podcaster, you are a podcaster. You just got to do it. And it's just like we have all these skills that we have all this like untapped essentially unlimited potential within all of us.
For sure.
And unless we're willing to know what our weaknesses, what our pitfalls are, what is bad about us, we can't be the ultimate version of ourselves. And I know that once I started working on myself, that it was exponentially greater how much more I could do to help others, because I helped myself.
Yeah.
And so many times, dude, we've talked about this a million times. Mom or dad will be like, I haven't been able to go to the gym because I got kids or I got this and life happens. And it's like, but the ultimate reality is that you are exponentially shortening your time with your kids and with this life by not focusing on your fitness and your nutrition and mindset and stuff like that. So ironically, you think you're saving time, but you're actually wasting time and ultimately eliminating a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's interesting on that, and moms kind of, they either love this statement, they celebrate it as like, oh, finally somebody said something that I can truly resonate with and believe in, or they absolutely detest it. And the statement is this: the most important relationship that you have is with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Your number one relationship is not with your children. Your number one relationship is not with your spouse. Your number one relationship is not with your parents. It is with you, because all those people come and go. Whether they're, they go to work and they come back, or they, they pass on to the other side, or they, leave the relationship or whatever. You're the only entity that is with you your entire time on this planet, and you have to be number one. And in a society that wants to throw around words like narcissistic, egotistical, and selfish, you would view this as, oh, well, you're just being selfish. No, motherfucker, I'm actually contributing and showing an example and a model to children that this is how you treat yourself. You treat your body like it's a machine, like it is something that is a wonderful, just phenomenal piece of machinery that can do so many things. And
it's the greatest piece of technology
ever built.
Ever built.
Because it's built all the other greatest pieces of
Exactly.
technology, right? Without us, I mean, we could probably go down a rabbit hole here. We won't. Without us, we wouldn't have these pieces of all these marvels that we marvel at. So if you're listening to this and you're like, my kids have to come first. No, you have to come first, because the best decision for me is the best decision for we. Period.
Well, man, we're coming to the end of this podcast. I want to get one more statement from you, and just kind of want to, essentially what's your mission statement? I always like to end with this and just kind of give you an opportunity to speak your piece, essentially, and say, hey, this is what fucking Buff does, baby. But kind of tell people what your goal is and mission, and where people can find you so they can get involved with Sweat for Surgery and Surgery on Sunday, and come work out Aspire Fitness maybe. If you can handle it, because he don't want no pansy bitches to be training, because he'll roast you. It's not a bad thing. He takes you to new heights, but
all right,
he don't want no complainers.
We'll start with Sweat for Surgeries first. So Sweat for Surgeries is going to start at 4 o'clock on Friday, January the 27th. We've got 26 straight hours, meaning on the hour, every hour, we're going to start a different fitness class right here at Aspire Fitness in Lexington, Kentucky. You can find us on Instagram at Aspire Fitness KY. Our mission is to raise $45,000 for the people of Central Kentucky so that we can give them the surgeries that they need. As far as my mission is only one thing. I have one thing, and that's to be me, and that's it. Because when I'm me, I'm my best. When I'm trying to be somebody else, I am not. So, in order for anything to happen in my life, whether I manifested it or whether I, however you want to say it, I got to be my best version of me. And me today is a lot different than me 5 years ago or whatever. And that is only because I've had relationships with people who have challenged me and I've challenged myself. That's really it.
Well, dude, I appreciate you so much.
Sweatforsurgeries.com to sign up for Sweat for Surgeries. Forgot about that. Sweat, the number 4, surgeries.com.
Do it. I appreciate you all so much if you're listening to the What the Shuck podcast or watching the What the Shuck podcast. I'm here with Josh Bowen. And
Tupac is the greatest rapper of all time.
Figured that was coming somewhere. I don't know how we didn't get through the podcast to mention that, but thank you all for listening. We have some really, really incredible guests for 2023. Unfortunately, the podcast took a little bit of a backseat from the summer until the spring or to the winter because of the flooding and doing stuff with the nonprofit.
Yeah, man, you got to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've been doing a lot of nonprofit based stuff. We have a lot of podcasts coming up. So keep your eyes out, keep your ears up, and thank you for listening. Live the Dream, What the Shuck podcast. Thank you all. One time I was doing a live podcast with JB and I got shit on by a bird. See you later. What's up, everybody? I am Austin Shuck, the host of the What the Shuck podcast and also the president of Appalachian Pioneer Program. I am coming to you all from the Germantown Art Gallery in Germantown, Kentucky. They are a Airbnb Plus on Airbnb, so it is going to be an Airbnb that reaches all of the standards that you want from essentially the amenities you would get at a hotel, but that you'll have at a home. And I had the chance to meet some people who have a property here, and we're working on a really cool thing that so essentially if you come here and you say #Shuck in the Ville, you will be giving a 10% discount to stay at this property, and they're going to be donating 10% of their earnings quarterly to Appalachian Pioneer Program. So they'll be making an annual contribution at the end of each year to my nonprofit. We're really excited about that. Thank you all so much. I hope you all are having an absolutely great day, and I hope you kill it in 2023. Let's live the dream. Woo!